You want to grow your fashion brand, but you're struggling because there's only so many hours in the day and so many different fashion marketing strategies to try. I've always been a strong advocate for bringing systems into your business to help you achieve more in less time. But now that AI tools are so readily available, it's allowed us to do even more and create more impact with our fashion marketing in a lot less time. Today, I'll share AI tools to grow your fashion brand, and chances are you're not going to be using all three of these already. In fact, a lot of you won't be using any of these already, and that is okay. I wanted to create this video and share lesser known AI tools to help you. In this video, I'll share 3 tools that I'm using for my fashion business, plus stay until the end to learn a tip for making the most out of this technology. Hey there, it's Vicky here, founder of The Fashion Business Coach, and I love helping fashion brands to grow strategically and increase their profits. There's a ton of different options out there for growing your business, and you probably wondered at some point which one is the best for me. Well, I would love to answer that for you. I've created a free quiz for fashion entrepreneurs. It takes only 2 minutes, and at the end of the quiz, you'll get the result for the area of business that you can focus on for your specific stage of business. On that results page, I've tailored it based on the answers that you've given me in the quiz itself and helped you with some customized tips and places that you can get further free support as well. Head to the link in description to take the quiz and get your result. The first AI tool to grow your fashion brand is Tailwind. Now, you may have heard of Tailwind already. You may even be using it for your business, probably as some sort of scheduler for maybe Pinterest. That's how I personally use it, or some other platforms as well. But did you know that it now also has some powerful AI tools as part of its Ghostwriter function? I'll show you what I mean on screen. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it. Let me just highlight a couple that I personally love. So as I say, Pinterest is my go-to. I love Pinterest marketing. It is my fave. And the Ghostwriter AI tool has really helped me to speed up the process of creating Pinterest content from my blog content. So I already write a blog, and what I can do with this feature is just give Tailwind the link to my blog, and it's going to then generate 3 options for me to use for my Pinterest titles and my Pinterest descriptions. This is super, super helpful, not just from a time-saving perspective, but also from the fact that Tailwind are used to dealing with Pinterest and growing Pinterest accounts, so it's helpful to have kind of their take on it. You can also use this feature for other social media channels, so pop in your link to a blog post and then use it on Facebook or LinkedIn. There's a ton of different options that you can use. That is the feature that I use the most, but as you can see in that little snapshot that I shared of the Ghostwriter AI, there's a ton of different things that you can use this for. How is this different from me going to ChatGPT or any of those other kind of chat writing tools? The key difference here is that typically you would have to load in your blog post for the AI to then be able to pull out the Pinterest descriptions. And while in theory there's nothing wrong with that, the problem is that my blog posts are normally a lot longer than the character limit that is set by other AI tools. So by getting the Ghostwriter AI function to look at my blog live on the website, it means that it creates a better overall picture of everything that is in the blog post, rather than me having to cut down the number of words so that it will fit into the chat AI and therefore generate better results, in my opinion. I'm sure those of you out there who are techie are probably going to tell me that it's the same kind of base algorithm that is used for this, and I'm sure it is, but just from a user perspective, it's a lot easier for me to just pop in a link to my blog versus having to head to another platform, then copy paste my blog post in, which is difficult with the formatting, and then wait for it to create the Pinterest titles and descriptions. It's just a lot faster to do it all within Tailwind. And when you're a fashion business owner, you know there's a lot of things to be doing, so anywhere we can save time is amazing. If you want to give this a go, I will link to Tailwind in the description. The second AI tool to grow your fashion brand is Midjourney. If you haven't heard of Midjourney before, basically what it does, you can type in some commands, some descriptive words for an image that you would like to create, and then Midjourney will go ahead and create that image. It's pretty incredible what they can create. I love the quality of the images. I love that you can get very realistic images, which is what I personally want to go for. But you can also do artistic styles and all kinds of things with this tool. It's really fun to use. I find it a little bit addictive, truth be told. So it is really good for limited functions. I say limited functions because if you are wanting to design a product, you have a specific product in your mind, and if you're thinking this is a tool you could create to kind of get the idea out of your head and into an image, not going to work so well for that. It's pretty much impossible to get something specific from Midjourney AI. There's ways that you can kind of refine it, and there's different things you can do for sure, but if you have something specific in your mind, it's honestly just quicker to draw it out yourself. If you've seen my fashion design challenge training, you'll know how quickly, even if you have no drawing skills, you can draw something out with software and tools that are available. So I would say Midjourney is not well placed for that kind of thing. If you're wanting to use it to have your design ideas shown as images, I wouldn't really say it's best placed for that. I know a lot of different companies are working on that kind of software. Quite a lot of them have approached me actually to be featured on my accounts, but none of them have passed my very high standards. So none of them have been featured so far. And I gave them all a bunch of notes of many things that they needed to improve on. So I don't think the tech's quite there for that function, but here's how I use Midjourney. It's amazing for creating inspirational images. So this could be for my website. It could be for mood boards that I'm doing, at the start of a collection when I'm designing a new range. I'll usually use Midjourney to come up with some images for that. And this can be helpful as well for showing online to get feedback. Like we said, it's not going to be an exact match for what the product is that you're thinking of. But even if you can generate some images with a similar vibe or feel or color or whatever it might be, just to get some feedback quickly through like an Instagram stories poll or something like that, that can be really, really helpful. And I also use it sometimes for images on the website. For instance, if you were doing a blog post and it was more lifestyle rather than about your products, you could use Midjourney to create some images for that. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll see that when I've done these kind of collages of AI images, I always tell people that it's AI. That's just what I personally prefer to do. I know there's a whole other discussion that could happen about ethics and morals and AI and all the things, but we won't dive into that here. We'll stay on track. And I'll put the link for Midjourney in the description if you want to check that out yourself. It is a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it, or if you watch this video and then try it, come back and let me know how you found it. I really enjoyed doing it and I'm curious to know what you think of it. The third AI tool to grow your fashion business is Descript. And why more people are not talking about this, I do not know, because it's one of the best things I've ever used. Not just the AI feature that it has, but just generally using it. If you are somebody who's doing video, particularly video that's kind of longer than your typical reel or TikTok or something like that, you need this, honestly. If you have ever done any kind of video editing, it can be quite clunky. Like clipping out your mistakes, I make a ton of them. That's why you can see there's always so many edits in these videos. It does take a long time with using traditional software. The thing I love about Descript is you load your video in, it will then create a transcript of it, and you can just cut and paste into that video like you would just with a Word doc or a Google doc or something like that. Essentially, you're altering the video and cutting bits out and trimming it down just by editing the text itself. And it saved me so much time, I cannot even tell you. That's one of the reasons why I'm back on YouTube. I felt like I hadn't got capacity for it anymore, but then now I've got this software, it makes everything a ton easier and I can be back, which I'm really excited about. On the AI side of things, Descript has brought in a lot of different AI commands. I'll give you a couple examples that I use a lot. The first one is creating the description and the timestamps for my YouTube videos. I find that really, really helpful to be able to do that direct within the platform that I'm already editing a YouTube video in. And another helpful one, if you watch my videos before, you'll know I'm all about repurposing content to make the most out of it. You put a lot of effort into content, so you want it to be seen by more people, right? So Descript AI is really helpful for that too. So it will, while you're still in the platform, still editing your video, you can use the AI tool to repurpose as a blog post or a newsletter or a caption for Instagram or something like that. There's a lot of different options there that have been really, really helpful in helping me to repurpose my content from a video, in my case, this YouTube video, out into other forms of content as well. So I would definitely give that one a try. And another feature I really like, and while it's not technically AI, it's pretty helpful. If you are someone who does longer form video and then you want to pull out pieces for, say, an Instagram reel or a TikTok, some kind of short form video, it can often feel like it's quite a lot of editing. Again, if you use traditional editing software like I used to, but again, with Descript, you can just highlight the words that you want to include in this snippet, in this short form video that you create, and basically copy that over into a different format. So for Instagram stories, the correct format for that. So that's been really, really helpful as well, helping me to really make the most out of each piece of content that I create. I'll pop Descript in the link in description if you want to go check that one out. And then finally, a little bonus tip. Chances are if you're watching this, you have been using ChatGPT or some kind of similar text-based AI. And you may have found that the results have been a bit disappointing. You might found that the results sounded generic or robotic or just not like you at all. And it's really, really important, and this is my tip, you need to make sure that you are training the AI to sound like you. If you just type something like, write a blog post on X. And do put some ideas of your own in there as well, because we want to be creating thought leadership type content, not just copying somebody else indirectly through chat AI. We want to always be putting our own spin on things. But let's say typically you've gone there, you said, write a blog post on this, here's the 5 points that I want to discuss, and then it kind of churns out this blog post and you're feeling disappointed because it doesn't sound like you. We do have to prep it first to sound like you. And there's various ways that we can do that, but essentially we want to be drawing from either previous blog posts we've written, newsletters, transcripts from videos, something like that, and educating the AI to sound like us before we go ahead and ask it to do anything for us. Additionally, and as an English person, this is something I notice, we can also write in like colloquialisms and using the spelling that we prefer and the language that we prefer too. So I always want to educate on that as well, that I want to have English, not American English, etc. Just so again, that it aligns with me, the way I speak, my brand voice, etc. So if you're someone who has kind of given up on AI already because of the disappointing results, go ahead and give that a try and see how much different it sounds after you've just given it a little bit of training. If you want to dive deeper into that and how you can use chat AI to help you create a bunch of different content without having to do loads of work and starting from scratch, then I would love to help you with that. I have a training on this exact thing. I will pop the link in the description. Thanks for staying until the end. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider giving a subscribe and a like. That really does help the channel. Plus it means that you will be the first to know when my new video comes out next Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.